Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It is Saturday. Happy Saturday. Love you all. Welcome to Coping with Life. I am Scott. How was that episode last week? I want to try new things, as this is a journey into the unknown. And last week was, in my opinion, a great learning opportunity. And again, big shout out to Sick Sadist Dummy Mommy for joining the podcast. And I will try and learn more audio. Because after recording and compression, it was pretty low. So that is something that I need to learn going forward. But I thought it was a great episode last week. Trying new things, and so I would like to eventually have more guests. And so if you're out there and you would like to be a guest, reach out and maybe you could be the next guest on my podcast. But I love you all. It is Saturday. So last week we had the glorious episode with guests talking about things, and there's more stuff that I would like to discuss, and but I thought it went well. However, last week on Friday, so the day before the episode went live, the Friday before Saturday, obviously, I went to a wrestling show in Portland. I went to AEW RAMPAGE, and I want to review it. I want to go over a few things. A thing that I thought was weird, discerning. I was on the floor. That was surreal. I mean, I don't really deserve good seats. But it was kind of the same price as nosebleeds. So I'm like, okay. I really enjoyed it. I do like wrestling, and I'm not really a fan of AEW. I've said it a few times. I watch it here and there, but oh boy, I've kind of changed. I've seen it live. I kind of have good respect. I really did enjoy. So it was laid out so before Rampage, they filmed AEW Dark. They did Rampage. Right after Rampage was Battle of the Belts 5. And then more AEW Dark. So, a long night of wrestling. But there's a few things that I want to talk about beforehand, outside the building. Met a lot of cool people out there, so a huge hello to those people. But, so, I did some digging and research and reached out to people. And this was more of a a building thing and not a AEW thing. It was more of the Rose Quarter rules and regulation thing, and that's it. Can't really complain, but I'm going to say this. So there was a lot of people with face paint as Darby Allin, and Malachi Black. But they forced them to wipe their face paint off. And these were young people. And that was weird. And there was also no signs allowed. They were confiscated a lot of times. And yet they allowed people with signs and face paint. Because on the floor there was a lot of people still with Darby Allin face paint. So I don't understand. It's vastly confusing. But it was a good show. And I only got one thing. I got a shirt. The person couldn't really hear me. Which I don't blame them. But the shirt I got has a lot of the faces of wrestlers that I have seen in another company that I speak frequently on this podcast, and some of them were new, and so I can force myself in a 2XL. I'm comfortable in the 3XL, but they have 5XL shirts, and I like to be very comfortable. There's a hoodie that I wear all the time that is 5XL, and it's just so comfy. And I like comfort. So I got a 5XL shirt. I enjoy it very, very much. Excuse me. My apologies, yawning. But it is early in the morning, as in this podcast goes up in a little bit. So my podcast goes up live at noon Pacific Standard Time on Saturday. It is Saturday, January 14th. And it is 11 in the morning. I woke up just a few minutes ago. Kind of slept in. I slept in all of my alarms. But so I get to my feet. What's the shirt that I got? And AEW does a lot of things than the other company. Good and bad, but so AEW Dark starts filming. And I'm just enjoying it. I just want a good night of wrestling. And so I'm enjoying myself. And then me being the fanboy I am, when Matt Hardy's music hits, and it was just Matt Hardy and two other people that I don't. I think it's Ethan Page and Isaac something. I could be wrong. I do apologize. But Matt Hardy. And I'm like, I like. I enjoy Matt Hardy. And so seeing him wrestle again was nice. And so, and seeing a lot of the superstars that I've never wrestle live or, and so it was good. Now, the audio was super loud. I'm, being autistic, audio sensitivity is off the charts, and it wasn't great. It was super loud, and I was on the verge of panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and it was rough, and it was pretty cool. Then Rampage started. Jericho and Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone was on commentary. And that was cool, just seeing Chris Jericho for the brief second that I did. Excuse me. My apologies. And I'm like, okay, so Rampage is going on, and wow, great stuff. I really enjoyed myself. Now, it's weird. AEW's been around for 4 years. And in that 4 years, I had a chance to see them live. And that's how I really gauge things, because I've been to many WWE events. And, I'm very accustomed to how the WWE do things. AEW does things a little bit differently, especially at TV. So to my side, they have like 2 cranes with TV and many handycams. It was fascinating. The production was amazing for AEW. So Rampage's main event was Mike Bennett versus Darby Allin. That was great. Then Battle of the Belts. That was interesting. I was really excited for that portion of the evening. And then we had the tapings afterward. I was already exhausted. I was tired. And I just wanted to go home. But but at the same time, I do like wrestling. And it was great. I got to see Athena versus the Marina Shafir on AEW Dark. That was wonderful. So she was known as Ember Moon in the WWE. Athena was. And seeing her perform live was great, because that is stuff that I enjoy a lot. I really do enjoy I just love wrestling in general. So all in all, AEW in Portland, Oregon was fantastic. Now, they were mainly talking a lot about AEW in Seattle 2 days before, which was Dynamite. Because that was a big deal. And with AEW taking 4 years to come to the Pacific Northwest, would I go to another AEW show? Absolutely. But I would probably be bringing my fancy earplugs to help calm my brain of how they do things. Keep my audio sensitivity down, but so they do care about people who have those hard times. I saw a few people who had some issues and they helped them. So good on them. It may have been just the venue. Excuse me, I need to. But I had super fun at AEW. And it took me a little time to get used to. But yeah, first event of the year. And I would like to do another event soon. I don't know what. I do know I have a concert in July that is in Seattle that I still don't know how to but that's okay. Future media story about that. But yeah. So if you like wrestling, I talk about it a lot because it's a happy place. And it was a lot of wrestling. Very little promos, a lot of wrestling. And I like that. So TonyCon, good job. You've gained an official fan. I know a few people who have been to a few AEW events, and I was always a little skeptical, but yeah, AEW Live pretty special. So thank you. So today being Saturday, January the 14th, even if you listen to this on Wednesday. I almost forgot what I say. So I want to also add my predictions for the NFL playoffs. So this is going to be a huge ramble. We're going to make it quick, and then I'm going to wrap it up for this week. So we have various we we have lots of games. Let's get to it. So the first game is Seattle Seahawks versus the 49ers. I want Seattle to win. I do. So yes. So my pick for the wild card first game on Saturday, which is today, yay, which is in a little bit. We have the next game, which is later today. We have the San Diego. No, they are not. They haven't been for a while. We have the Los Angeles Chargers. I almost said San Diego. I laugh at myself. They haven't been the San Diego Chargers for a few years now. But they're the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I want the Jags. I want the Jaguars to win. Then tomorrow's first game, we have the Miami Dolphins versus the Buffalo Bills. Go Bills. There's not much to say. I want the Bills to win for many different reasons, and knowing that DeMar Hamlin is going to lead them out on the field prior in street clothes, that is, you don't want to face the Bills. So then we have the middle game for tomorrow. We have the New York Giants versus the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings are going to steamroll the Giants. And so this is my prediction for that game. New York Giants are going to look hot. They're going to probably score the first 10 points. They're going to look hot. And then the Vikings, probably maybe at the end of the second quarter, they're going to get maybe an interception, maybe a first fumble. But they're going to get the ball back. And they will have all the momentum. And just steamroll them. That's the fun with predictions. I'm having fun with it. Now we have a game that was the same game that they played last week. And that's the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. The Baltimore Ravens looked atrocious last week. They're going to beat the Bengals this week. And I like the Bengals. They're not my team. I just enjoy. I just like football. And I like the Bengals. And then we have the Monday game, which we have the Dallas Cowboys versus the Buccaneers. Now, I do these predictions with a couple of my friends, and I get a little competitive. So to them, I have the Buccaneers, but I want the Dallas Cowboys to win on Monday's game. So I yeah, I really think that it's going to be a fantastic playoff. I just hope nobody gets hurt and everybody can be healthy. And go to the Super Bowl. And it would be nice to go to Arizona for the Super Bowl, but that ain't happening. And I like football, and just happens to be Supercard weekend this week. And yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. Because I'm a little fatigued. I'm doing my best. And I love you all. I care deeply for everybody throughout the entire world, wherever you are listening to this. New people who are listening, old people who are listening, I care about y'all. And I don't know what next will bring. I don't know what next week will bring. And for some reason, I'm in my brain. So I'm saying week, but in my brain, I'm saying year, and it's confusing my brain. Cause like, did I say year? No, I said week. Having mental issues hurt. But yeah, and if you liked last week's episode with a guest, I do apologize, volume wise, the discrepancy of my voice and theirs. I apologize. But this is why we try things, and going forward, I can get better. Leave me feedback. I'm all for it. And you can even give me feedback for your football predictions, even if it's refs. And yeah, I'm thank you for listening. And until next week, I love you all. And this has been Coping with Life. I'm Scott. And I bid you all adieu.